Well, it was good until it wasn't. The Indiana Fever had opportunities in spite of how bad they played at times. You can't win games like this, games that really matter, when you have 19 turnovers. You are not going to win when you turn the ball over that many times. Go to the other side. Take a look at this stat right here. This is the game right here. 33 points off of turnovers for Las Vegas. 33 points. That is ridiculous. And in spite of that, they still took them to overtime and still had an opportunity to win. It is my opinion that if Kelsey Mitchell is in that game in the fourth quarter, Indiana wins that game. Period. The refs had their part in it. You can't bitch, moan, and complain. If you're going to look at anything, I look at the obvious stuff. I saw a call on. I saw a call on Chelsea Gray. She got called for a foul. That was a phantom call. I forget who she was guarding, but she didn't foul, but Indiana got the call. Then I saw the foul on Aaliyah Boston with Gustafson with the flop. And then Aaliyah Boston, the foul that got her thrown out of the game, that got her kicked out of the game with 6 fouls, was another phantom call. So those calls, not happy about, but you see calls like that all the time. The one that was egregious to me, the flagrant foul with Jewel Lloyd on Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull was setting the pick. Jewel Lloyd came in with arms high, pushed her down to the ground. They called it a normal foul, not a flagrant, when she clearly pushed off, extended, and that's clearly what she was trying to do, trying to run through her. So I thought that was a bad call, or that's an ignored call. That wasn't a bad call. They just ignored it. So there's a difference between missing a call and ignoring a call. Enough with the refs. We've been bitching about the refs all friggin' year for all teams. I thought it was funny. Aaliyah Boston gets fouled out. Asia Wilson has what, one foul on the day? She had 2 personal fouls on the whole night. But the night before, back in Indiana, she was bitching and moaning about the calls that she wasn't getting, and Aaliyah was getting. So it goes back and forth. I understand home cooking, but at the end of the day, whoever the commissioner is next year, they got to get a hold on this. The whole situation with the commissioner and Fee Collier, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna have a whole nother video with that, so we'll get into that later. But tonight, Indiana had their opportunities, man. They just ran out of bullets in overtime. Just ran out of bullets. Odyssey Sims had a phenomenal game. 27 points, 50% from the floor. Kelsey Mitchell was 3 for 3 from deep. Again, her not being there in the fourth quarter hurt, and hurt bad. Um, Shea Petty had a good game with 13 points. She had a couple of threes that were clutch towards the end that kept them into it, and at least they had hope even in overtime. So Tasha Howard, that's the type of game you need from Natasha Howard. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Everybody was balling. They just ran out of bullets, and turnovers killed them. Turnovers killed them. They were good from the free throw line, 21 out of 24. Turnovers lost that game. 33 points off turnovers to Indiana's 7. That is going to kill you every time, in spite of all of that. Stephanie White not being in consideration for Coach of the Year is criminal. What she did with that hospital team is nothing short of phenomenal. So props, shout outs, flowers to Stephanie White. You proved you were a good coach in this league. Not that it was ever in doubt, but everything that happens, you had a starting 5 on the bench for medical reasons. That is incredible. And you still got your team 10 minutes to the finals. If you don't lose another big gun, injuries just killed Indiana this year. Kelsey Mitchell, MVP season. So proud of you, homegirl. Your dad, Big Mark Frat, will be proud. You holding up the legacy, proud of you. Way to keep representing Cincinnati, Ohio. Way to keep representing Princeton High School. So proud of you. Every chance I get to talk about Princeton High School, put your hand over your heart every time you say it. So proud of Kelsey Mitchell. Hopefully there's more to come when everybody's healthy, getting ready for next year. Aaliyah Boston, she showed that fire towards the end of the year. Hopefully we can get a little bit more of that throughout the year. KK Timpson, she can only get better. She can only get better. When that girl realizes how good she actually is, league gonna have a problem. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull, the hustle is outstanding. Sophie Cunningham, keep that fire, that hustle, keep draining them threes. Ari McDonald, Shea Petty. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even know who Shea Petty was when they signed her. Ariel Powers, Chloe Bibby for her quick time before she got injured. Demiris Dantas, I was always a Demiris Dantas fan. Demiris Dantas, nobody can move you when you down low. So I know they got some decisions to make when they come back next year, but for the most part, great team, great season. In spite of all the injuries, you still did something that nobody thought was possible. Congratulations, Indiana Fever, on a phenomenal season.